Okay, I want to talk about organizing the tags in Studio 5000 to make it easier to work with Factory I/O. So we have two locations for tags. One is in the controller scope, and up until now we've been putting everything under controller scope. But we're getting a lot more tags going on, so I want to get it a little more organized. What I want you to do is use the controller scope only for address tags. So addresses, that's the physical addresses in our PLCs. And if I open Factory I/O, it's the addresses in Factory I/O. When we do this, I want you to use this conveyor station. If you're on full screen, it's right here. That's the one we're going to be using for setting up the tags and for the first Factory I/O assignment that you're going to start on today. Okay, under controller tags, when you configure your modules, it automatically puts all the addresses in under controller tags. That's all these guys down here. For Factory I/O, you have to put in all these bool in 0, bool in 1, bool in 2, and go to drivers, Allen Bradley. So here's all the addresses that I need for my Factory I/O. What I want to do is I want to put all of those addresses into my Studio 5000 so that it's all set up and ready to go. So I've got boolean 0 through 10, and over here I did boolean 0 through 10. Bool out 0 through 13, and there's one more, the int out 0. So I'm putting those all in the controller scope. Then, when I go down to my main program and these tags, what I've done is I've made aliases for the Factory I/O tags, or the Factory I/O addresses. So here I typed in at entry 1, and that's an alias for bool in 0. And that matches what Factory I/O has set up. So then if I go over to my code, I can put things in here that really mean something to me. Instead of having bool out 7, which I don't have any idea what that is, I've got an alias for eStop, and I call it eStop FIO. So FIO for Factory I/O for an abbreviation. That tells me that, oops, edit, undo. So that tells me that it's this eStop. On your trainers, you also have an eStop, so you have to differentiate between the eStop on the virtual machine and the eStop on your trainer. Same with things like the green light. There's a green light on the virtual, and you have 2 green lights on your machine, on your trainer. So you have to somehow differentiate between them. So under controller tags, we only put addresses. Under the main program, we put all the aliases. We put in aliases for everything that you have. I've only done some of them. I did these guys, and that's about it. So in mine, I've only done like 5 of these Factory I/O aliases. But for your assignment, I want you to get all these guys entered in so that they're all ready to go. Each person has to make a template file. Each person has to submit it on Canvas, and make sure you have a copy of that saved on your thumb drive or your H drive or somewhere, because you'll use this for all the future labs. it's got everything set up. You just take this and call it template, and then you'll copy that template and start with that to start all your future projects. Then when you're doing your logic, if you have, here's my input. So rather than putting in boolean 6 or local in data 4, those types of addresses in your code don't tell you what's going on. And if you do it this way first and then go back and fix it, you're just creating a bunch of extra work. So it's better to put in all your tags, alias all your tags, and then use those when you're writing your logic.